Where's the
Camera, action.
Are we all set? Welcome to Coastside Fire Protection District Board of Directors Regular Board Meeting, April 23rd, 2025. Roll call, please, Jean.
Director Cockrell?
Here.
Director Hannah?
Here.
Director McKinney?
Here.
Director Sherrill? Here. President Burke?
Yes, here. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We now open the meeting for public comments. Would any members of the public wish to make any comments, questions, or directing any comments to the board?
There's a hand up there.
Jan?
Hi.
Jane, I guess.
Yes,
Jane,
can you hear me?
you're
Hi, I don't see that I can get my video on, but I'll try while I'm talking. Hi, my name is Jane Prey Silver, and I came to introduce our little group called the El Granada Advocates. We believe that we've been working on fire safety for about 4 years. We started with a petition, and we asked that fire breaks be cut into the Quarry Park, and also that that the medians be properly cared for in El Granada. We believe that wildfire and climate change are related. And so we've been looking at, I'm going to have to forego the video. We've been looking at ways that fire safety can be implemented, as well as an eye to climate change. We believe that we can balance nature as well and avoid flooding and wildfires. We've been doing quite a bit of research on it, which we can share with you. And what else do I need to say? I just want to thank you for the work that you've done. I know just more on just a conceptual level, I just wanted to say thank you to first responders. I had a brother pass away about 30 years ago in a car accident, and first responders were there, and you're very, very important to us. And we hope we can work with you and share the knowledge. And I'm very happy that you're working with the fire department in Marin. So we're going to reach out to other fire departments that are trying to do fire safety in lieu of also environmental concerns. So I just want to introduce our group and say thank you.
Thank you, Jane. Let me just add this. I had the opportunity to meet with Jane and with two of her fellow people interested in the same subject. Obviously made no commitment or any comments relative to what they're doing, but did meet with them. Yes, just wanted to make you aware of that to do. Are there any other members of the public that would like to address the board?
Melinda?
I would.
Hi, sorry, I'm trying to get my video going. It keeps going on and off here. Hi, I'm Melinda. And I also wanted to thank the board for all of their hard work and dedication in protecting our community from wildfire threats. I'm also a part of El Granada, and like you, we are deeply concerned about wildfire risk. We've been actively researching current best practices and listening to experts. Through this, we've come to better understand the complex relationship between wildfire vegetation and climate. We recognize that climate change is the primary driver of increased wildfire risk as it dries out the land and vegetation. At the same time, we've learned that removing too much vegetation can also dry out the land by reducing shade, moisture retention, and cooling from tree respiration, tree canopy, critical factors for climate stability in our towns. There are global standards from research indicating 30% tree canopy for municipalities can help cool a town as the climate heats up, and current research, even more recent research, says 40% maybe 40% tree canopy in municipalities may be the most effective. We're especially inspired by the work of Marin Fire Safe Council, which emphasizes home hardening and maintaining zone zero, creating the amber-resistant areas of a home as most effective strategies for protecting structures. They are also part of Ecologically Sound Practices Partnership, which educates communities on how to balance fire safety with ecological resilience and biodiversity. And some examples of what they recommend are vegetation removal outside of bird nesting season, growing plants for pollinators, and protecting habitat for wildlife. I read a quote from their site by the Joint Powers Agreement on Marin Wildfire Prevention. And it says, intensifying climate change and extensive fuel buildup are contributing to the increasing threat of wildfire throughout Marin County, and to the extent possible, should be addressing through ecologically sound practices that minimize the release of greenhouse gases and protect the biodiversity and resilience of Marin landscapes. Their focus is on vegetation management and habitat protection, carbon resource management, and defensible space for ecological benefit. We share this because we hope San Mateo County can consider a similar approach, one that balances defensible space and fuel load reduction with the need to preserve critical ecosystem services, including tree canopy cooling, pollinator habitat, to create future climate stability. We look forward to continuing this dialogue and hope to support efforts that prioritize both community safety and environmental health. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public who would like to address the board? Yes. Look at your face.
Yeah. I'm Chad Hooker. I live here in town, and I've been the chair of a Dream Machines event up the airfield for the last dozen years, and been involved in it from day one in 1990. The last 20 years or so, I've been coming to talk to you guys periodically. For a while, it was once a year, and got made into once every 3 years. I have finally successfully passed the baton on that to someone else. So we get through it this weekend, and as you know, the requirements of I think it's the FAA, not the airfield specifically, are that we have two rigs out there instead of one, so we can be on each side of the fence. I'm sorry, you guys have 2 rigs out there, and you've continued to step up on this, and I'm just here to thank you for all your support for all these years. This department, this board has been behind us, and having those guys on the field in uniform, ready, it means a lot, and I came to thank you.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you. Very nice.
I'm the Dream Machines, but we're your speak here.
Yeah, she's gonna be chilly.
It's a great program.
Good job.
Keep
It's
it
a
up.
good program.
Keep it up.
It is.
Yeah.
Glad we got it back.
Right on.
Are there any other members of the public who would like to address the board? Please. Sid?
Yeah.
Yes, hi. You can
Hi.
hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to say 2 things. One, you probably, maybe people knew, but sadly Lisa Ketchum passed away, and she's been a long time community advocate on the coast side, and most recently she was on the San Mateo County Planning Board, Planning Commission. Tonight they're going to have a memorial type presentation at the MCC, and also later they're possibly going to be a memorial celebration of her life at Ray Mueller's office at the harbor. But the other thing I wanted to just mention, and because that's very sad news, but Larry DeYoung spoke at your last meeting regarding the Caltrans right-of-way and the extra fuel load that's there. And I've been following on his
Sid? Lost the connection, Sid. Sid, we'll continue on, and if we get a connection, we'll come back to you. Let's go on for a moment, then we'll come back to the vote. Do I have moving on to the consent calendar? The public meeting is still open. We're just going to take on other items. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar? And I note the director McKinney has asked to be recused. Do I have a motion? Moved, seconded.
I'm sorry, I guess you lost me, huh?
All right,
This is-
Sid, go ahead, please.
I don't know what part you heard and what part you didn't hear, but I guess my computer went down and I was still talking. Did you hear me mention about Lisa Ketchum?
Yeah.
Yes.
And did you hear me ask about the Caltrans right away and how they told Larry DeYoung that they were coming out to send a crew to trim, but they hadn't yet? And I wondered if Cal Fire her or Coastside Fire Protection District had any knowledge of that.
No. No, we do not.
Okay, thanks. That's all I wanted to know.
Words Caltrans right away, and she didn't like it, so. Yes.
A lot of people are losing their fire insurance in Montero. That's mainly why I wanted to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Sid. Are any other
Sure.
members of the public who like to address the board?
Yes, thanks for your service to the public. This is Ali. I am the owner of the 2 parcels in El Granada. I have received your letter for weed abatement. I had to leave California a few years ago, unfortunately. Now I'm living in New Mexico, and you have given me the deadline of May 10 to clear these 2 lots from the grown vegetation. I just wanted to see if it's possible for you to extend my deadline until July 1st, because I have to take time off, and I have contacted in the past the landscaping companies. The amount of money that they charge for that is more than how much the land is worth, really. So I have to come by and do it myself. But I can't really come by before May 10. I was planning to come by sometime in June, and it's also actually raining there all the time in the past few months. When it's raining, it's very difficult for me to go and clean all of those vegetation. It's gonna be muddy and stuff like that. I was wondering if that's possible for you to give me until July 1st to clear these 2 lots out of all of the grown vegetation.
Fire Marshal Department, can we delay?
In certain cases, we've extended the time frame, but he needs to give us a date in June, not just sometime in June. So if he can provide that information, we can pass
Yes,
it on.
I can. Yes,
Please,
yes, I will.
Please provide that to the fire marshal here at the office, and they'll make accommodations to make sure it works. All right?
Thank you so much. I will send an email. I already sent an email, and they asked me to come by to this meeting. I will send an email with the exact date that I will come by and do that. Yeah.
We
Thank
need
you so
an
much.
exact date, so he needs to provide an exact date.
Yeah, provide an exact date, please. Okay? Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, I will send an email. I will need to request time off. After that's approved, I will send an email with the exact date that I'm gonna come by and clear those 2 lots.
Okay, and have him do it before May 10th.
Well, that's okay.
Yes, I will do it by tomorrow. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
That
appreciate
works.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other members of the public who would like to speak? Let me, thank you. With that, I will close the public meeting. Just to make a quick comment on a comment that Sid had. I know that a lot of us perhaps had knew Lisa Ketchum, and I had an opportunity to meet her, and the board had interacted with her in a number of capacities, both at the county and when she was on the MCC. And she was very helpful in all things and very generous with her time. And certainly she was a very valuable member of the community as to do that. Okay. Moving on, if you will, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar with Direct McLean being recused. Patrick, did you have anything that you?
Recuse myself on the consent calendar from line item E.
item, Patrick wishes to be recused on item E on the consent calendar. With that, may I have a vote, please, Jean?
Director Cockrell,
Yes.
Director Hannah,
Yes.
recused on E.
Refuse on my end.
Director McKinney, recused. Director Cheryl, yes. President Burke,
Yes,
motion passes
thank
3-1-1.
you. Moving on to continuing business, LAFCO response to MSR review recommendations. Chief Wilson.
Yes, so, LAFCO did their MSR and, gave 3 items of, I wouldn't say concern, but, identified issues. Those were the outstanding liability of CalPERS, a few areas in which, Coastside Fire Protection District responds into another area's jurisdiction, first due. And then the new local area or local response area fire hazard severity zones, which we'll talk about later this evening. It is staff's recommendation that in response to the CalPERS, we will continue the actions that we have in place as the board. Which we have set up some different accounts to facilitate paying down that liability. For the response outside of the service district, sphere of influence is what they call that in the MSR. Not to initiate any actions for annexation or boundary changes. The district would just maintain its initial response model into those areas as they do today. And then in regards to the fire hazard severity zone mapping and ordinance, we have that ordinance prepared and will be presented in new business today under item A. And we can review that and move forward hopefully with that adoption. In a report.
Thank you, Chief. But it, basically what the staff report recommends for doing will be part of a larger detailed report back to LAFCO. Is that the way this works?
So we're able to provide LAFCO response back based on their MSR to give feedback. We could give them just this, and I think that would suffice for what they need,
So this would be our response.
or we could draft a letter.
Yeah, I'm not looking for more paper. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
The comments or questions at all? Okay. The only, again, I just would like to keep it as net as possible. I don't know that there's any value to us and citizens, if you will, to elaborate and integrate them. I don't expect this to be a bestseller when it's finally put together. But one thing, just a couple of comments. When the paragraph that begins with municipal service review noted that the district is sufficient. You know, somehow or other, it seems to me that what we submitted to them and what the LAFCO board indicated that it is sufficient seems to be made to just make it. Maybe I'm being a little bit critical, but something more positive is well positioned or something that indicates that I think we're probably one of the better positions organizations in the county. And I just like something a little bit stronger than that. The other use on I don't know if there's any, and this is, I would not recommend this, but if there's any way to elaborate on the positive aspects of having CAL FIRE as a county contractor as well as a COSI is a major benefit to both the county and to us. And I don't think that was grasped quite as well as I thought it should be when in the face-to-face meeting. But with those two comments, I would be just going forward. Anything important? No? Okay, great. Moving on to continue B.
Did we skip 5E? No, that was part of the consent calendar. Oh, it was, sorry, pardon me.
Continuing business item B, monthly update on wildfire readiness. Chief Wilson.
So last meeting, I provided the PowerPoint presentation that was asked to talk about the district's preparedness for wildfire within the district. This is just, was asked to do a reoccurring monthly update. So I have a monthly update for you. After last month's meeting, just following it, I think an hour after, I went and met with the Midcoast Community Council and did a little outreach and informed them on a similar PowerPoint. And we had a good discussion. I would say it was probably an hour long or so with members that were there and online. So that was very positive, hearing the community's concerns. We are still awaiting some costing information on the potential of if a water tender would be a benefit to the district or not based on its fiscal cost. And then we also this evening, 7A is the 2025 fire hazard severity zone maps. And that is going to allow for us to take a more targeted approach in home hardening, defensible space and mitigation strategies. So that's moving forward. On the fuels right now within the county, we do have what appears to be a larger than normal grass crop from previous years. So one thing is that hopefully community members, for those folks that are on, that they're doing their defensible space early and reducing those fuels as they will start to dry out quickly in the coming weeks. Brush currently within the Coastside Fire District is taking on moisture. And it'll start making that change in the coming months. So also on Monday, which is not in the staff report, but Monday I had the opportunity to go to Marin and meet their executive officer, Mark Brown, who runs their wildfire authority up there, which is done through a tax measure, and they strictly deal with prevention. They don't deal with the fire side. And we went and looked at fuel mitigation projects they have, and just amazing work and what they've done up there in Marin. And Supervisor Mueller was there, Supervisor Spear, and many other folks from a few other of the local agencies. So the county and Coastside are taking it very seriously and looking at some unique opportunities that other people have capitalized on to move things forward. So that is the monthly report.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes.
Comments, questions?
They have a channel, a video channel, YouTube channel, Marin Wildfire Prevention, that is very useful. And it's being watched. It was referred to a couple of times today already. It's being watched up and down the coastside. So kudos to them for producing a tool that's useful for all of us.
Yeah, they have a tax measure that brings in annually around $22 million, which helps them. They have a very small staff of 9, but they have about 35 defensible space inspectors through Marin County that they fund, along with a lot of mini projects that are strategically placed. So definitely a roadmap to success and something that we should look at to build on.
Thank you.
Other comments and so forth? If comment I would make, another request, is that it just seems to me that there are a lot of fingers in the pie here. Everybody's interested, obviously, in the dog increases and so forth, but and you're getting great information from Marin, other people who've spoken to us about their concerns and all that type of thing. But at some point in time, it seems to me that we on the coastside need to have a more specific plan to deal with the massive action items and what we can do and what we cannot do. I don't know anybody that's not interested in it, but at some point in time, you're gonna have to put down some action items as to what we're gonna do. I'm not even sure what the heck those are that are reasonable, but at least even a draft plan that would engage people to say that's stupid or that's what you should do, or something to do it would look to the fire experts, fire marshals and so forth to tell us maybe what can be done. Prevention, whatever. That would be my suggestion or comment. Anything else?
I mean, I would just add that you've already mentioned, I mean, it's the community. Obviously, it's in the forefront of their minds, as it should be. And we live in an area that, you know, has an incredible amount of fuel surrounding it and minimal amounts of ways in and out. The hard part that I know we run into is that a lot of the lands that need to be potentially mitigated are state, federal, Caltrans. And that's where, as a board, maybe we need to look at how to address the individual entities and find ways that, obviously having the right equipment, chief, like you mentioned, a water tender, but you know, having one or we need 10, you know, I mean, the amount of water that's available in Montero is more minimal than there is here. And the reality is the fuel is what's, you know, gonna need that amount of water. And if we can reduce that somehow, but again, it's like going up against, not against, but it's trying to get information from the state or Caltrans or the federal lands that exist and understand how we can mitigate it best that this district can be involved in, right? What does that look like? I mean, it's time to start, as you said, getting some more information and finding out where we put, you know, our influence as much as we can in our district, since our people that live within this district are obviously going to look towards us as what it is we're doing to help mitigate this. That's all.
Chief, that's just, as an example, and maybe I'm way off on this one, but as an example, it would seem like the largest concentration of fuel is owned by the San Francisco Water Department. And I don't know if they're involved in anything, whether they've done any thinning or anything with their property on the hill. But it would seem to me that at some point in time, you know, addressing the fuel load that's in their property would have to be looked at as part of a safety plan for the coastside. Would be not the firemen, but firemen. You know, to say that we're gonna do all these things and removing bushes around my house and not do anything to that huge amount of forest up there just doesn't seem quite right.
Oh, the fuel load is just gonna get higher the longer that we don't come up with some kind of a plan. I can only speak for anecdotally, in 1977, this was primarily grassland with a little bit of scrub ochre in there. That was it. It's some chaparral. That's where we are. And since we've been here, we've watched the ukes and the pines and the cypress take over. None of which, by the way, are native to this area. They're all invasive and non-native species. And yet, we're just getting more and more of a fuel load every year. And the longer that nothing is done, and when the fire comes, and sure as night follows day, it's going to. We found out painful in some other areas. It's just going to be less and less. It's going to be harder to fight it. I'd say possibly impossible to get the same kinds of weather conditions. Here they have Pacific Palisades, and the result is going to be the same. And I don't know, the scope of this to me is so big. You say we'll get a couple of CAL FIRE crews out there. Well, you're gonna have to pick where you actually get rid of the fuel because there's so much. There's not enough crews in the whole state to clear the fuel load in our district. Not, you know, forget about the rest of the state.
Anything else?
We could look at cutting fire roads. Certain areas,
Yeah.
so we have.
I would look to you all and fire experts to do that. But it would seem to that one of the things I would do is if I looked at a map of who owns all the land along the coast, it's abutting the coastline here. I'm aware of it, but San Francisco Water District, but there's a number of non-profit groups that own various other pieces and so forth. It would seem prudent, and one step you might take it forward is just communicating with them and saying, do you have any plans in terms of mitigating the wildfire in your particular section of the coastside? Because we as coastside residents are very concerned about it. Let's see what they're doing, if anything. But the roads and fire breaks and so forth, I mean, I don't think there's any that go through the San Francisco wildlife, woodshed up there, I'm not sure, but anyway, whatever it is, I want to pull on if it's. um, I'll stop, okay, but I would like Chief to ask if you would keep this on the agenda for discussion item in the future. Anything else?
The neighborhoods are asking for action. Ocean Colony is about to publish a paper on wildfire readiness and evacuation routes. Montera has formally requested an evacuation drill like the one that was held in El Granada. And working with the prevention office to make those arrangements. So there are formal requests that are coming up from the neighborhoods now.
Yeah, we've assigned, Captain Moda has been assigned the evacuation drill in Montera as a project, so we're working with them on that. But I'll reach out to San Francisco Water, DGNRA, and some of those larger landowners that are adjacent in the district. And we'll see what they have going on. And I have here kind of like a town hall or a group meeting of everybody in one room to kind of talk about a plan so we can strategically do it. As Director Crocker was saying, like, it's so big, right? You gotta pick where you're gonna start eating the cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the obvious thing is that the beginning of it may not even, of wildfire, may not even begin in the Coastside Fire District per se, it would begin someplace else, and that's the concern, one of the concerns I have. Anything else?
There's a person at Emergency Management, SMC Emergency Management, who was tasked with coming up with evacuation plans for this area. So perhaps we can invite her as well.
Very good. Thank you. Moving on. New business. Local response area fire hazard safety zone ordinance number 22501, Chief Wilson.
All right, so this is probably you've heard of it, the LRA Fire Hazard Severity Zone maps. They were released on February 24th of 2025, and this is driven from legislation. So and legislation said that CAL FIRE, Office of State Fire Marshal, would produce these maps with the same modeling that was utilized for the SRA fire hazard severity maps, which came out about a year and a half ago when were approved. The Coastside Fire District does have a significant amount of very high and high within it. Those maps were posted, I think, on like the 26th of February on the Coastside Fire Protection webpage as part of the legislation that they needed to be available within the first 30 days of the announcement. So the ordinance, which is attached here, is accepting the map as provided from the Office of State Fire Marshal, with one caveat being that if a parcel is split by two zones, so if you're not, the map does not delineate on parcel line, it's based on geographical, fuel topography, etc. on the modeling. So some properties at large are split between a moderate or a high or a very high. And there's 51 statutes that come along with very high, high, and moderate. So if a property is in moderate, or excuse me, in high and very high, we were asking on the ordinance that the very high is what is placed on the whole property. So that it is congruent to that, so it's easy to enforce defensible space inspections, hazard abatement, those type things. Otherwise, it would be on a piece of property that has two zones or even three zones. What one are we using?
So we're gonna use the highest.
We would use the highest that affects that parcel.
Makes sense.
And this on the staff report, there could potentially be fiscal impacts to the district. It's not specified on here, but you do have to do defensible space inspections in the very high, and then disclosure. So when someone goes to sell their home, they need to have an inspection done, which can be done. It needs to be done in the very high and the high zones. I talked with Fire Marshal, with Chief Griffin. Some agencies have a fee which is associated with the disclosure. Others do not, but depending on the impact to the district on how many homes are being sold and how it's affecting the fire marshal's office. It could be that we need to adjust the fee schedule to be representative of an inspection being done for disclosure. And then we're hoping that the defensible space inspections will be able to be done hopefully by engine companies and some of the fire marshal staff, and we should be able to support that based on the structures of the sites.
I don't think the fees problem would be any problem for us, but I understand the point.
Chief, I was just curious in regards to obviously the statements how many years they do their reassessment? If we're-
5.
Okay. So this just came out and I believe a large part of our district, if not almost all of it, is high. Or things went obviously up, but
Yeah, if you went from the
Yeah.
upper portion of the district, so from the east to the coast, it's very high, moderate, yes.
obviously this has the impact on the community in the sense that you mentioned insurance, being able to get insurance. For insurance or not even be able to get it all, this have an impact on that, I would assume.
So this is a hazard map, not a risk map, so insurance companies should not be utilizing this information to determine insurance for constituents within the district.
And lastly, the adoption of what has been given from state fire marshal. Do we as a district have the ability to,
You have the ability
question is,
to,
no, do we?
you have the ability to increase zones, you have no ability to decrease zones, so the base map is set. However, you do pass an ordinance to accept it. You can only increase that map, you cannot decrease it by legislation.
Thank you.
Question? Before we take any action, I'd like to open a public hearing. Would any members of the public like to comment on this item? Hearing none?
No.
Does somebody wish to comment? Please do. And please identify yourself.
Hi, I'm Melinda McNaughton again. I am sorry if I'm confused. Can I comment on what you've been talking about in general, or is it just particularly this item?
It would be on this item, ma'am.
Okay, then I don't have anything. Thank you.
Any other members of the public would like to speak? With that, we'll close the public section. And do I have a motion to introduce the first reading of the ordinance, setting the time for second reading and adoption on June 25th? And do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second,
That ordinance, by the way, is 225-01. There was no motion and second. Any further comments? Roll call, please, Chief.
Director Cockrell,
yes.
Director Hannah,
Yes.
Director McKimmie,
Yes.
Director Cheryl,
Yes.
President Burke,
Yes.
passes 5-0.
Chief, can I ask, this is a little bit going back to the previous item on contacting landowners and that type of thing. I really hope that when we do that, with some kind of a note to our good friends in Sacramento, ask them what they're doing with that right of way. That's up on that hill. That has been a thorn in our side for a number of years, trying to get something to do anything, but to have a swath of land, as I recall it, pretty large going through the mountains up there. And that thing is overgrown and they're not taking care of it. They should be, they being the state of California, to be included in our request to provide some information. So I'm asking them to do that. Some of you may remember we tried to do something about that some time ago and ran into a dead end.
You talk about that Caltrans, anyway,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
I believe so.
It's actually, I think, an extension of 3E. if I recall.
Yes,
There was a small section in the backside of Montero, which before I even came to the office, Deputy Fire Marshal Riddell was working for several years to get it done. I came to the office in 2020 and then just barely pushed it over the line, and where there was a small section that was abated. It was a picturesque area, but it was abated once in, I believe, the beginning of 2021, and then every year we've reached out to them and tried to return, like, get them to come back and status quo.
Like a 4-year cycle.
Yeah, so,
One of the issues we have with the people that actually facilitate those type of mitigations, they change jobs so often. I believe I went through 4 different supervisors before I got the one that was currently in charge enough to do any of the vegetation management. And in that time, between the time that they started the project and the time they finished, they
All they're
gave
talking about is fuel mitigation,
our property. So
chopping shit
the
down.
northern end of that portion of which was supposed to be 380 was given to them. But it's very difficult when you can't have the same person all the time.
No, I appreciate that. In fact, I'll leave this up to the chief, but it maybe having copied to a representative on any better that we might send to the state might be an incentive to do something that otherwise wouldn't get done.
Do we want to hear any comments, not related to this particular item, but just in general, if you say?
Well, I asked for a public hearing and nobody spoke on it.
And you were there with some because you decided later on when we were already meeting the actual.
Do we have somebody who would like to speak on this subject?
I'm not, can I just say that I'm not 100% sure. It's hard to hear with the owl. It doesn't have really good audio, but were you just talking about the strip of Caltrans property?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so last meeting, I suggested when you brought up the point about getting a water tender, that maybe you could ask Caltrans to pay for one. And that might get some action out of them. And certainly it would help our district to get a water tender. So maybe we should push that. I'm just saying again, I wouldn't, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Give it a try. Maybe we'll get some action out of them that way. Because they really just give us the brush off all the time, no matter who contacts them. Ray Mueller didn't even want to contact him. He passed this whole issue on to the assemblymen and senators for our district, Becker and I forget the other guy's name. Anyway, that's a thought.
Thank you. There has been a rumor that Director Cockrell would buy a water tender. I'm not sure. Oh, is it a rumor?
Second that motion.
Yeah.
All right, the resolution has been passed and we will look forward to the following up adoption on June 25th. Moving on to item B under new business, Community Facilities District number 37, Chief Wilson.
All right, so this is new to me. I have not done one of these before, but the Stone Pine Code, which is 47 units, is being placed right now. There, I might refer to Mr. Riddell to help me on this, but this is the resolution for them with the intention to form. And then this will allow for a special fee to be placed on those 47 units that is equal to the service that will be provided as the potential of increased service for that area.
Correct.
I correct me if I'm wrong, but this fee that these people have not paid, this new development has not paid for new fire engines, equipment and all that type of thing. This is the way to make them, if you will, pay like other people would.
Right.
Make them up to date, if you will, to do that type of thing. And I think we have 30 odd similar kinds of organizations, and any new development with 2 or more buildings, 4 buildings, it's to be included in this kind of a thing. So frankly, I move that we approve the establishing Community Facilities District number 37.
Second.
Comments? Roll call, please.
Just a quick one. Will they be charged as a single, there's 3 tracks in here, right? Will it be charged as a single tract, or is it charged for the manufactured home?
Per unit.
Which is considered to be a manufactured home?
Yes, so that doesn't determine whether or not it's a permanent structure.
I was just looking at the size of the fees, and the fees are delineated by the type of
Exactly.
structure, so. So they will be charged
A
each
single family dwelling charge. Per year.
for a manufactured home.
Well. The manufactured portion doesn't decide whether or not it impacts the district. They have the same fires, the same people inside, and the same medical property, so. That's what impacts the fire district,
Okay,
not the way it's built.
okay.
Okay.
Even though the fee structures are a little different, depending on the,
They are.
Yeah.
Depending on the size of the buildings, type of buildings, and what they're utilized for.
okay.
Okay,
Yes,
I have my hand up.
let's,
There's somebody's got her hand up.
Yes.
yes, go ahead, who is it?
It's Sid again, nosy old Sid. You know, that those 47 units are extremely low income and they're giving them 0% interest loans. It's for farm workers. And I'm not sure about this, but I believe that Half Moon Bay sold the entire parcel to San Mateo County. So they may not have individual tax bills coming. I'm not sure about that. So before you pass it, you might want to just double check and see if it should be mailed to San Mateo County or to the individual homeowners. Because right now, of course, they're all in line to apply for loans and getting it's a Joe Cerna grant. But I'm not sure you can, it's not like they're building the Carnoustie at the golf course, you know, it might be a different issue. So I just wanted to bring that up. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's pass it. If we need to make adjustments in the future, we'll do so. Okay? Forgot what the heck we have. We have a motion to approve
Yes.
2025-07. There's a motion and a second.
yes,
Roll call, please, Gene.
Director Cockrell?
Yes.
Director Hannah?
Yes.
Director McKimmy?
yes,
Director Cheryl?
Yes,
President Burke?
Yes,
Motion passes 5-0.
thank you. Moving on to item C. Review and discuss latest San Mateo increased funding request for JPA members to support dispatch service in background. I see it has my name on it, but I'll do a few items and look for the chief or anybody else on this thing, but I think everybody is familiar with the ALS JPA is a rather unique organization that's bound by contracts between ourselves, the county, AMR service and so forth. The current contract in net is going to go forward until 2029, I believe. The county has unilaterally sent a letter to all members of the JPA, significantly increasing their fee for the communication center. And that letter to us and to the other members of the JPA was rejected by the JPA in saying that it was not appropriate, to not based on logic or any other kind of thing. Subsequent to those exchange of letters, there have been a number of meetings. I ended up attending one yesterday, where some suggestions were made as to what we would do, and I would say the bottom line is that no action would be taken at this time is the consensus that I get. There was no vote. This was just a small action committee to go forward. There is no question that the dispatch center is not fully funded by the county, but at the same token, our responses to calls are not fully funded as well. We receive in the course of the year in finances $90,000 total. The counties, and that money is generated through the AMR contract that the county has with AMR. That $90,000, if the county's manager's suggestion of raising fees were to be adopted, that money would disappear. In addition, this district would end up paying an additional $115,000. So it has a financial impact on us as well. It's very interesting that all in these many years that this has been in operation, and which, by the way, has worked very well. I mean, if you recall our meetings, I don't recall somebody saying, you know, I'm very upset with, you know, the ambulance service or the response time. It's worked very well. But in all the time that that's gone forward with the discussions and so forth, the issue of financing the dispatch center has never come up. It's always been, you know, well, we'll take care of it, and little things that they've done. A toll was initiated, I think, 3 or 4 years ago to a minor increase to fund it. There seems to be some willingness on the part of the members of the GPA to have another COLA, small COLA increase and so forth, but not to address the millions of dollars that the county was originally asked for. But at this point in time, anything I would conclude with is there's no action item for us. There's no action item on the part of the county that's going that I'm aware of. I guess the only action item, they appointed 2 supervisors to deal with this issue. Supervisor Mueller is one, and the board chair is the other. And those 2, to the best of my knowledge, have not initiated any action plans. So all of that is background, and is, you know, go forward as we are. Chief, any
Nothing additional, that was a very good overview.
any comments or?
I'm not seeing any resolution here, so this is what.
Non-action item.
It is a discussion. Okay, got it.
Yeah, there's some interest in, apparently by some members of the JPA to perhaps look at some other kinds of communications systems and all that type of thing, but that's just, you know, and a very, you know, maybe just look at it kind of thing. There's nothing tangible at all on the table. That's my report. Anything else? Good, okay. But by the way, the one reason I wanted to have this on the agenda is because I mentioned last time that this is the one subject that as representing the board of the JPA, I can make the vote. I want to make sure that all my fellow board members, if there's anything that you want to have included or discussed and so forth, that make sure that I'm aware of it, please.
It would appear that going forward, what they're trying to set up to do is unload the cost from them and put it on us.
Yeah. In my opinion, I'd say nice try.
Yeah, right, okay. It's just.
Okay, all right, moving on. Where are we? Right with my. Okay, that takes care of it. Board of Directors and Chief report, financial report. In your packet is the financial spreadsheet that includes all the information as to the district through the through March, if you will. I'll just make a couple of observations, all of which are included in this, but our balance with San Mateo County is some $9 million and $2 million for operational reserve, if you will. A late balance is some 16 million. Most of that will be used for building on Station 44. In terms of our revenue, our ERAF money has been received, $1.7 million. We're at year to date some 72% of our revenue for the year, so we look strong in revenue as well. Repayments to our CAL FIRE contract have been made, so we're at 6.2 million. 3 million of those have already, 6 million have been paid, if you will. And I note that our CalPERS responsibility for prior employees is paid in one payment the first of the year, and that's already been done. And as far as total expenses, was 68% of budget and strong financial position. Maybe did you know any questions on finance? I didn't. I'm not aware of anything. Anything at all that? No. Okay. Volunteer committee report. Director Cockrell, Director Hanna.
I can only speak to the last volunteer. Punch guy had anything to do with. And also Director Cheryl was there. And that was the crab feed, the annual crab feed. Seemed to be quite, as usual, quite well attended. I did have the occasion to sit next to Warren Jolly, who's the son of retired Chief Jolly. We had a very pleasant conversation. But aside from that, it looked like another successful volunteer crab feed.
Food was great.
Anything else?
Well, last weekend, the graduating class of this year from the academy for the volunteers occurred. Say everyone passed. They did. So I was unable to attend myself for personal reasons, but I'm just happy for them and that we continue doing a program that is a highlight of not only our district, but probably the entire Bay Area. So very proud.
Okay.
Great
very good.
training program, very rigorous. Thank you to our training office for pulling off yet another successful group.
Was there for a few minutes and all very positive group. And very nice. Land and Structures Committee report, Director McKinney, Director Cheryl.
Hit it.
As I understand it, we are moving along with no specific hurdles at this time. Our plans are in various approval agencies waiting. We submitted everything they've asked and we're waiting for comments. That's my understanding of the status of it.
What's in? I'm sorry, I didn't get you.
There are two different planning authorities that have jurisdiction over our news station and our interim.
Okay.
And we have submitted plans. They came back with comments, both of them. We submitted our comments back to both agencies and we're waiting.
Good.
For them, but we're good. So that's a good and bad report.
Anything else? Okay. Vegetation Management Committee, Director Cockle, Director Hammond.
I don't know.
Nothing more. I do think I don't know how that can tie into our discussion earlier eventually. Vegetation management is literally what we spend, right, minutes talking about today, and I know that this committee hasn't had any real action in the recent past, so again, to mention and to tie in with the chief in our district and who it is we need to reach out to, for lack of a better term, light a fire, right? Maybe I can use that one, that's right. That something needs to start happening more than conversations. Let's dig into it.
Okay, thank you. Special Districts Association, Director Hammond.
No report.
Good. ALS JPA, I've already covered that as best I can, with what I know on that. Rigid Preparedness Liaison report. Any good? Chief, no?
Did David Cosgrove communicate with you?
No, no report. He usually sends a report if he's not gonna be here, so I did not get one.
I see.
Third report. That's
Sure,
Cheryl.
report. This Saturday, we're gonna have Radio Palooza here, which is a set of 2 classes in FRS walkie-talkie radio instruction. It's beginners in the morning and advanced in the afternoon. We're pleased to do that for the coast side. On the 28th, the city of Half Moon Bay and San Mateo County Emergency Management is hosting a safety and sustainability workshop to go over the safety elements plan for the coast side. It's going to be held at the library. Coastside Fire is participating, as is every other major agency. CERT will be there. That's in the evening at the library. During May, there's Coastside Gives, which will conclude on May 1st. The volunteer fire department is currently involved in Coastside Gives, as is Coastside CERT. There's 73 different agencies raising money at this time. We're at about 34% of our goal. So we have fingers crossed for May 1st giving. Urge everyone in the community to participate in that one. Number 4, we're sort of in our radio arc, if you will, for radio training. The FRS radio happens first, and then during the month of May, there is a licensing course, a 2-day course if you want to get your ham license, and then there is an exam, which is a 3rd day. So that whole arc takes place. And of course, we on the coast side are more tuned to radio communications than most other programs because of our fragile infrastructure. When anything happens, to tell our telecommunications and power. So this allows us to be in communication contact at all time. We have another Educate the Coast side for class for neighborhood command post. Neighborhood command post is something that each neighborhood sets up in an emergency. And it's the central place that people in each neighborhood, all 32 neighborhoods have their own. And that the community comes to and then sends out field teams to assess damage throughout their neighborhood and elevate the critical information to first responders. So they serve as boots on the ground and information intelligence because it's 50 square miles and hard to get to 10 people. So that's the role we play from our neighborhoods in an emergency. And that class will take place in May. Wonderful report.
Sir is doing a wonderful job. You're to be complimented, and all the people in Sir are to be complimented.
It's a big team. Thank you so much. I'll pass on here. Thanks.
Anything, any comments? Okay. Attorney's report.
Nothing, thank you.
Okay. Fire marshal's report.
Stepping in for Chief Griffin, who's out of town this week. He's doing business over in Sacramento. March seemed to be a little bit of the calm before the storm. We had a little bit of a dip. We only had about 19 plan reviews completed. We did 12 construction inspections, although those 12 were significant. And then business inspections are coming along as appropriate for the time of year. And then we didn't have any other special alternate means and the methods approved, so no special outstanding projects. Some of the major inspections that we did do were spending quite a bit of time at 880 Stone Pine, as we've talked about a lot tonight already. And then the facility over at Big Wave on Airport Road, we just had the well inspection for the sprinkler system, so that's going up pretty quick as planned. And then, as you all are very well aware, lots of discussions about Cypress Point and everything surrounding that. So. Yeah, other than that, just normal daily business is trudging along. The season will be picking up with the better weather, so projects will be humming shortly.
Are the hydrants live out there now?
Yes, they are. And we did fire flows for Stone Pine.
For Big Wave?
They are not, well, they are in the street, they're still in the street. They have a couple of yard hydrants that need to go in there, I think.
There,
They did the underground for that.
yeah, the underground is done for the actual inside of the facility. Everything along airport is live and good to go. But because there will be a large loop complex in the facility, but only one of the buildings is going up at the time. And it's how many square feet? It's 3-story living up top and business and consulting in the bottom. So it's a mixed use building. So
70,000
yeah,
square feet.
so it's
That's phase one.
yeah.
Did the party who shut off the hydrants, were they talked to? Did you find out who did it?
Yes, we did, and it's been resolved.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask you the defensible space program?
Didn't know.
At one time, if I recall correctly, we had an actual program going on to neighborhoods and giving them information regarding fire prevention to the homeowners and so forth. We're not doing that anymore.
We still send out flyers, so.
Yeah, we send out flyers and, correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a contracted deliverable for a certain number of defensible space inspections that the engine companies do every year. With the change in the fire severity maps, that number will drastically increase. Not the contracted deliverable, but just what's required by state law and everything else. That will change, and then that will fold in as well, all the real estate inspections that have to happen as well. So there is, there is a small section, that we have rotating areas and throughout the district. On a yearly basis, we'll hit target communities for certain times where the engines do go out and they'll do a defensible space inspection. Hopefully speak with the homeowners if they're there, and then provide as much information as they can with flyers and pointers, and they'll talk about horn hardening and defensible space and the ember catch zone and everything else. But with the changes in the maps, that the requirement for that will increase in area significantly. And so that's gonna be one of the things the fire marshal office will be working towards this year, is figuring out exactly what the parameters of that and the impacts of that are specifically, so that we can either tailor the program or move it or adjust resources or come up with whatever other adjustments we need to have. So, but it's gonna be kind of tough to see, to foresee that issue, or foresee that workload until we actually do it. So it'll be a pretty busy year for the fire marshal's office. Do we have that static, or statistics to go with what we're gonna need to provide next year?
Well, you have your priorities, and I'm comfortable with that, but when a fireman or shows up at a home and makes some suggestions, it has an impact. Not only in that home, but everybody around it says, I'm gonna take a look at my place and see what's going on. It just seems to be a valuable program in making sure that people think about their fire safety. But thank you for doing
It does, it gets passed on, exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
Neighbors talk to other neighbors.
exactly.
They pass on the flyers.
Yep. Exactly. All right, fire chief report, Chief Wilson. Oh, yes, Chief Wilson.
All right, so March statistics, the district ran 224 calls last month. Those were kind of broken down pretty statistically the same. 40 ran 127, 41, 59, and 44 ran 38 calls. Last month, you may notice that one of the response times was a little high for the battalion chief. That's been brought back down. I think it was just an anomaly in the system. 659 is the goal, and we are currently at 535. So well below the ALSJPA required time being on scene. And those numbers are very consistent across the board. There are no new agreements to talk about this evening. The Truck Academy will be starting in 2 weeks. Is that correct, Chief West?
Next Monday.
Next Monday. So that's, they use the facility here, and that is a flagship training program throughout the county. So if you're driving by and see some training going on here, feel free to stop in and see the Truck Academy. We will be interviewing on Friday for the deputy chief position to go behind Chief Pops moving to another agency. And then I also had here about the volunteer graduation. I know Chief Lord has been leading the charge with that since I was in training in probably 2009 or so. It's been a long time. And I'm sure a lot of credit also goes to Captain Meadstein and Ingram as well for helping support him in that program. So another successful year on bringing additional volunteers to the district. End of report.
Thank you, Chief. Questions, comments? I have a strange request. I hate to ask for any piece of paper, but I'm gonna ask. It's just because of where I live, I go by this building quite a bit. And each time I go by, there's a new set of engines out here, or people being trained and volunteers and all that type of thing. And which I think is terrific. I mean, I think that's wonderful that this facility is being used to the utmost that it can be. But I'm just curious as to who schedules it and who uses it. I mean, who schedules people that come and use the facility? Is it just training?
It's a training calendar to sign up to utilize the equipment. Or
You know what, I would, just for a month, if it wouldn't be too much work, just write down who is here, who's gonna use this room, any of our facilities, just to give the board a sense of, what is it being used? I applaud the use of it. I want more of it to be used, but I think it would just be informative to know who the heck is using it.
Well, you said at the last meeting that Coast Guard wanted to.
That's right, yeah, yeah, that's what I was told, yeah.
Yeah, we held statewide meeting here that rotates.
Yeah.
You came and spoke at, like, we utilize it sometimes. Ken says it's already, utilized, definitely is exercised quite a bit, so.
Yeah. It'll be, I think, but it's not too much, just a piece of paper for the board is for just a month. I don't want this thing to go on forever, but just to give us a sense of who's using it.
I'll ask the question. When all these different agencies use this, every time I come here, there's somebody else out there working up to it, including CSM. Are we getting any money for this? This is good guy stuff. Is the district eating? Is the district eating all this?
Well, the use of the facility for the truck academy, I believe it's a shared cost with all agencies that participate. But one thing, think about is they're utilizing our facility, but the co-benefit we get from working with our cooperators, and in San Mateo County, there's a boundary drop, so. The familiarization with equipment and everything is, I think, pays for itself. But like material cost. Is shared when we do a joint training.
So it seems to me there's probably a certain amount of maintenance associated with this facility.
Yeah, as the annual inspection is required and things like that, but that would be required if we were using it one day or if we used it 360 days.
My request has nothing to do with money. I think we're happy we can afford it.
Yeah, well, so just as far as the money portion. So the IEC teaches a lot of classes here, and if we let them utilize our facility, our employees get the classes for free. Some of those classes are so we benefit by not having to pay and allow them to use our facility. So there's that trade-off.
We welcome it. It's good for the community. It's good for the system. More of it is fine. My question was just out of curiosity. That's all. Okay. Anything else?
Just two really quick things, Coast Guard. The Parliament Board is going to host a ocean safety fair on May 17th. And this is something that CAL FIRE, that Coastside Fire is going to help support, along with all of the other water safety elements in the area. Offering professional education and how to stay safe on the oceans. This is the first time they're doing it. It's in response to the drownings, and there are drownings and accidents in this area on the ocean. It's a great idea. It's wonderful that they're stepping up and hosting this. So that's coming up, so it'll be there. And also, I just want to go back to that Chief Cox. So we're going to have a moment where we acknowledge with a whereas and a hear ye and all that.
Last month, there was 2 action items that were given to me. One was to draft a letter for Sean Rose and his folks, which has been done and is sent to him, thanking him for his professionalism and helping us move our projects along. The second item was building or creating a plaque for Chief Cox, which we are in the process of doing. Once we have that plaque, then we will make sure he gets that.
Thank you so very much.
Yep. Anything else? Without objection, we adjourn. Thank you.
Don, you want to try to throw this cup in the trash can?
No, I'm